Hello traders, very good afternoon. Today is the 21st of November 2019 and this is episode 39 for the market analysis by Tradeducation. So before I share today's analysis, just to give you a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for everyone. Also, whatever information I'm sharing is for the educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. So today was the expiry day, and let's quickly have a look. What happened from the auction development process, and how the auction developed today. So today being the expiry day, funny day, for me. So I would say the greed bug again, came back up. So earlier I was in profits, then in the end I ended up with a loss. So just let me quickly start with what was going through my mind and what were the actual trade plan and how what were my trade location areas. Sorry. So with that, so yesterday what we are seeing is sellers started stepping in, and right now we are seeing continuation on the downside, or we can see a sort of continuation which we are seeing at the auction development process. So this level is nothing but one of the levels, which is this level. This is the high somewhere in the June time frame area. To specify what is this high, this exact date is the 6th of June. That is this reference area which I have marked, which was tagged last in the last week, and now again at that level sellers are again stepping in. This was at 12060, 12 or 12070 levels. So that is what I'm currently observing. So sellers are present, and let me just quickly go through the market profile charts to share what are my reference areas. So in yesterday's video, I shared that we have this clustered highs or weak highs. So I was a bit biased in terms of it will be clearing the auction on the high side, which did not happen. So let me just quickly go through which were the reference areas. The reference areas were 8th November high, today's high, then yesterday's close, so there was a pullback low and also the low of yesterday. This pullback low is nothing but so if I split this profile, this is where the sellers the sellers are actually winning, and at this particular level is where the buyers started stepping in. So this level, this so basically it was nothing but a sort of a retracement if you use Fibonacci. So this is more than about 75%, and again the buyers started stepping in at this particular level. So in market profile terms, I'm naming it as the pullback low. So let me just quickly unsplit, and let's quickly go through what was going through my mind and what was the overall auction development process, or what was my trade plan. So if you see here today's open, so this is today's open, and what had happened is it saw a sort of rejection at this particular level. So this particular level is nothing but the weak J and H, or so there were two letters which were weaker. So that's why I've written that this is a weaker reference, because this is an exact level. Also there was one anomaly which did not got repaired. So this was one reference which I was tracking and observing what's happening. So what happened is the A period, it started, then it started to slowly move down, and there was this HVN level, which is where the buyers again stopped. So buyers again stopped, and there were some I would say 300 or 400 trapped sellers, which were present. Okay, so this is what was happening. So the A period formed, then the B period it started to move above. Okay, wherein I shared that I shorted puts, and I was in a long position targeting the weak high, and the weak A period high and the weak highs. So I was actually anticipating or expecting that the market will move higher and will clear all these anomalies, which did not happen. So that's fine. Let's see. You have to always take a trade as per your trade plan. It's not you will be 90% wrong and 10% right. So just that you need to understand what mistakes you are making. So My actually stop loss was the A period low. So when the B period formed, that's where I shorted puts and I was, took a long position. But what was happening is then the C period formed and it took out the B period low. So once it took out the B period low, it gave me it shifted my confidence. So overall, the market was, anyways playing in a low confidence area. So there was neither the sellers were strong or neither the buying was strong. Okay, so it was clearly trading in a low confidence market scenario. So once the B period low was out, what I did is I exited my longs and then I switched to shorts, uh, wherein I was targeting this particular reference level. This is the single print where a buying tail, you can say a very small tail. So this was the target, which I had targeted from the short side. So once the B period low cleared, I exited my shorts. I exited my longs, entered the shorts, and I targeted this particular reference level. So once this was achieved, again I booked my profits and then I exited. Then what had happened is I was just observing, and there was a sort of delta divergence, which was seen at this particular low. And the sellers were really low compared to this C period low. So C period low had some 800 and this had some 400 or 200 odd, sellers. So what I did is when I saw this sort of delta divergence, when the E period started, so this is where I went long again with my stop loss of today's low, and my target was again the week A period high. Then what happened is the auction was slowly developing. It was spending a lot of time at the pullback level, at the pullback low, and it was just slowly, and then there was the stop hunting activity. Again, this is nothing but the stops which are built at B period high, the D period high. So this is what was happening. And when I saw failure, or there was no continuation on the higher side, that's where so somewhere around the close of yesterday is where I exited my long position. Okay, and then what was happening is market was just chopping down. Again, it went up. Okay, so it was not giving any clear direction. So up till 2:30 there was no clarity in terms of where the auction is developing. Okay, well, after I would say 2:45 is where we got the clarity that market will be going or clearing the lows. So overall the confidence was low, and then around 2:45 is when high selling confidence was seen. Okay, and what has happened is it tagged the yesterday's low, and then again buyers started stepping in, and today the auction is around the low of yesterday. So overall we had a very I would say a bearish close, and some of the reference areas which I'll be carrying forward tomorrow are the today's low, today's depok, today's close. Let me just bit right, this also on the bit right, the week A period high. Okay, let me delete this, and then today's high. So being an expiry day today, so since last couple of weeks, what I'm seeing is whenever we have an expiry day, we have a sort of a balanced profile. Okay, more or less, and then on Friday we see clearing the weaker references, maybe on the downside or maybe on the upside. So at the moment, sellers are winning, buyers are losing. So I also had one more a position. I would say it was more from a positional perspective. So let me share that with you on the screen. So let me just drag this. Yeah. Okay. So this is nothing but this is the capital which I've invested, and what I've done is I have sold the calls, and I have sold the puts. So basically, I've done some option writing, and currently, this is what the I would say the theta decay, or the actual premium which I have collected. So from 56 to 16 and from 26 to 2 rupees. So overall about 4,000 rupees. So more or less about 2% of the capital which I've invested. So this is the return in I would say the 4 days. So from Monday Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, sorry. So this is from the 5 days. So last Friday to this expiry. So this is the current experiment. One more experiment, which I'm running, and I'll be sharing with you on next week. So what are the some of the references which I have taking forward now. Okay, now let me again just grab this, just a second. Okay, so yeah, so what will be my trade development plan for tomorrow? So overall what I'm seeing is the sellers are currently winning the auction, and there are also trapped sellers. Okay, so let me redraw this again. Yeah, so we are also seeing trapped sellers, and the low, this is a weak low, and there are some 2000 trapped sellers. So what I'm expecting is today being a bullish, sorry, not bullish, a bearish close. I'll be seeing clearing all these anomalies, and I'll be seeing clearing the low of the 16th of November. So tomorrow I am bearish, but if this type of auction does not develop, the second scenario is what I'm seeing is there is some an LVN. So buyers would be stepping in here, and they will be reversing the auction and maybe taking out the high. So these are the two wild moves which I am expecting or anticipating for tomorrow's auction. Other thing is there is a sort of 45-degree line here and also 45-degree line here. So not exactly, but there are some stops which are been built at both the levels. So whenever the auction will reach, it will clear it. The tempo should be fast. If the tempo is fast, then you should jump in, and you should just take in the trades, and will be reaching the point of control of the 20th of November. So this is what my thought process, or my trade plan is for trading the Nifty tomorrow. Okay, now let me quickly jump to the Banknifty chart. And in Banknifty, what I'm seeing is, so this is a swing level, where sellers will be stepping in, and now this level has become weak. So I'll be carrying forward my level to this particular area, that is 31,750 or 31,700 levels. Also, we are seeing a weak high today. So let me just quickly jump to the market profile chart, and what happened, how the auction developed today in Bank Nifty is, even as the auction is building higher, what I'm seeing is sellers are literally trying very hard to short whenever the auction reaches at a particular level. They are really trying hard to short the markets. So if you see the range, or we are seeing one more balance being formed. Again, this is one more balance being formed. So both sellers and buyers are in equilibrium. So tomorrow what I'm anticipating is what is happening at the highs, what will happen at the lows. Also, this low and this low are pretty, I would say, a bit close by, and this high and this high, they are also close by. So but anyways, this high has been taken out. So I'll be carrying forward what the or how the auction is developing at this particular high. Okay, so my monitoring references will be today's high, today's depok, today's close, and today's low. Okay, so these are the references which I'll be carrying forward. So overall, balancing activity at the highs or at the weekly highs, indicating a very good sign that buyers are doing a good job. Now, so 31,450 and 31,700, it's not so far. So around 300 points more above. So tomorrow I'll be seeing whether we are seeing continuation on the higher side, or whether we are seeing any balancing activity. So that is what I'm developing, or anticipating in the Bank Nifty. Now, let us quickly go to the Reliance, and let me just quickly go to the market profile chart, And one of the references, which was pretty big good to observe is this gap. So let me just draw it with another tool. uh, so from here, oh sorry, not this, was it shift F2? Shift F2, yes. So from here to here. So this is a pretty good gap. This is a pretty good gap in Reliance which is formed, and right now what is happening is yesterday we had this poor low, and today the open was around the lows. It tried to enter yesterday's auction and the sellers started stepping in, and then the auction again was trying to fill the gap. So for Friday again I'll be seeing whether this particular gap is getting filled or not, because in Reliance I think this jump was because of the GDR, ADR, and the news sentiment, and hiking the prices of the calling tariffs and all. So indicating good annual or quarterly results for Reliance. So many emotional buying was happening, and today what is what we are observing is this gap is getting filled. So well, the buyers are not doing a good job, and if this gap is getting filled, what we'll see is at this point of control, our 15-10 levels, again the buyers will start stepping, sellers will be exhausted, and then we'll be seeing continuation again on the higher side. So right now Reliance is currently balancing in the gap, so I'm expecting or anticipating that this gap again will be seeing some more further balancing activity within this gap. Now let's see what's happening in crude oil. So crude oil, yesterday we had a pretty wild move. Let's quickly jump to the market profile chart to understand what has happened. So currently this is the overnight session, and where is my US session? Yeah, here is the US session. So what has happened is, okay, so this was the overnight session of yesterday, and what I shared is we need to observe at this particular low, if the auction is developing higher or within yesterday's range or within this range, then you can target the highs and then target the point of control and then target this level, so the weaker references. And what has happened is, so this is the open of the US session. It saw rejection, and then it started to slowly move high, and then it has formed currently a poor high. So a lot of emotional buying was seen, and one of the reason would be because of the inventory which came with the numbers which came out yesterday at 9 p.m. So currently what I'm observing is we are forming a balance about this single print. So this is a major single print, and we need to see, because at the single print we'll be seeing a sort of rejection, and we need to see that whether this balance is continuing, so whether we are seeing continuation in this balance or not, because right now weak players are playing, and there is this HVN, and there is this HVN, and also there is this HVN. So at this particular HVN is where the sellers are acting strong, and they are trying to, whenever the auction reaches here, that's where the sellers are trying to sell the market or short the markets. So currently the crude oil is trading with a pretty low confidence scenario. Overall the scenario looks bullish, but I'm not seeing any good trade location at the moment in crude oil, and I'll be getting more clarity what happens, whether this single print zone is getting cleared or not, or because this is today's low. If we see acceptance below today's low, then odds are higher that we'll be tagging the point of control, and then again buyers will start stepping. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting and anticipating for the market. And with that I would like to end this session, and would request you guys to please do like, subscribe, and please do press the bell icon to get notified of whenever I'm sharing or posting a new video. And with that, let's see how the auction develops tomorrow. And till then, happy and safe trading. Okay, so ending the session, and bye for now.